Birekoth Shalum, Birekoth Shalum. Today I want to talk about um, how we as Hebrew Israelites, we are failing. We are failing the people. We are failing the Most High. And the reason why I say that is because if you look on social media amongst the Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters, we are constantly arguing with each other. We're cussing each other out. We're putting each other down. We don't communicate well with each other. And when we do communicate, we communicate with an attitude or with the intent to argue. I have seen a few comments to myself where a person is trying to correct me in something, but they do it in a argumentative manner, wanting to argue. We need to communicate better, with more love, with more kindness. We are failing. We are failing the people. We are not being lights and the salt of the world. We're not doing that. We're too caught up in our own self-righteousness. We're too caught up in our own knowledge. We too caught up with looking Hebrew or sounding Hebrew. And we're also forgetting to talk to people about how to live. Alright? How to live for the Most High. We're not really stressing salvation at all, because Hebrew Israelites go to hell too. And we lack that. We stay on the physical part of being a Hebrew Israelite, but we don't talk about the spiritual part, because we're supposed to worship the Most High in spirit and in truth. And we get caught up with all these different distractions of who is the white man, whether he's Esau or whether he's from Japhet. We get caught up with the women in the pants. We get caught up with the fringes. We get caught up with all these other things. And we fail to speak about salvation. And that's one thing that we need to be talking about a lot more. It's fine to talk about the holy days and all that, and it's fine to talk about how these holidays that we celebrate, that people celebrate now, was pagan. We're supposed to warn the people, but we also supposed to give inspiration to people also. There's a lot of people that has a broken or contrite heart. A lot of people are low in spirit. A lot of people are destitute, and they need some upliftment. And with us bickering and arguing with each other, that is pushing them away from the truth. That is. It's just what it is. And it's just like, me and my friend, we both Hebrews, and now we're not friends no more because of a disagreement. Not by my choice to not be friends, but that's what's going on in this Hebrew movement, Hebrew Israelite movement. Our doctrines are so different that when we disagree or have a little argument about it, we don't want to mess with each other no more. And that's not showing the love of the Most High. We're not being a forgiving people. We're not being a kind people. We're not being a righteous people. We're being self-righteous. Our own righteousness is not going to get us to the kingdom. It's not. And we up here on YouTube sounding so high and mighty. We got all this knowledge. We condemning this person and that person. and had a time we're not even looking at ourselves. We don't know who's really has the Ruach HaKodesh with them. We don't know that for real. We just see these people on YouTube, including myself. You don't know about me either. But we come on here prideful, not showing any type of humbleness, and it turns people off. It turns people away. We don't need to be out here cussing out white people or cussing out other nations and everything. We don't need to be doing that. We need to show that we are a royal priesthood, a peculiar people, like it says in the Bible. We need to show our kindness. We need to show our humility. You can look any way you want to look on the outside, but if your inside is dirty, and I said this before, you're unclean and you're not fit for the kingdom. That goes for all of us. Moses wasn't a well-spoken man. But you don't have to be well-spoken. Elijah was a wild man. John the Baptist was a wild man. You know what I'm saying? Hairy and dressed in old garb. But they showed kindness. And that's what we don't do. We are turning into the modern day Scribes, Pharisees, and Sadducees. That's what we are becoming. I've been on doing this YouTube thing for a long while now, and I done seen the change. I done seen a few changes over the years, and where we at right now, it's a shame. We need to get back into the truth. We need to get back into what really matters. We need to get back to uplifting people. We need to get back to showing our fruits. We really do, because we're failing the Most High big time. We're failing them big time. And I'm not a perfect man. I struggle with things myself. That's why I try to come on here humbly as I can and speak with you all, because I'm sorting through issues with my own life, even though I've been in the truth for years. But it's a lot of things that we carry with us in this walk that we don't realize, and we really need to examine ourselves. Like, we can't be in the truth and be angry. We're angry because we're in captivity, but the reason why we're in captivity is for the simple fact that our forefathers did not follow the Most High. They did not follow the covenant. They turned on the Messiah. And yes, those that take people in captivity will go in captivity. Does say that. But we just need to be worried about spreading the truth of the Most High and uplifting people and drawing people in. That's what we need to be worried about. But we're too much worried about looking like Hebrew. We're too busy talking about having multiple wives and so forth, looking the part. Instead of talking about being humble and being kind and being loving and being forgiving. We don't talk about those things. But we must not get distracted with all these little things. We must not get distracted. Let's get more inspiration out. Our people need to be lifted up. We need to be lifted up. We're supposed to have one mind, it's one body, it's one spirit. And that's not what is going on today. There's a lot of wickedness in this movement. And you have to remember, being a Hebrew Israelite is not a religion. It's your nationality. It's who you are. Following the Most High is a way of life. It's not a religion. It's not a religion. You can wear all the fancy garb you want. You can know all the Hebrew words you want to know. You can look and sound the part. But if your heart not right, you're not going to make it, because Yah looks at your heart. And you best believe, like I say in the word, the hearts of men are dark. If we was all that, we wouldn't be in the predicament that we in right now. We need to take the chips off our shoulders. We do. We need to take the chips off our shoulders and stop being so angry, and start showing the joy that you have in the Most High. Start showing the joy that you have finding out that you're a descendant of Yah's chosen people. You need to start showing that joy. And telling people that everything is going to be all right. That a new day will come, but we have to walk in righteousness. I'm not saying that we are going to be perfect at it, but we can do our best in all sincerity, and stop trying to paint ourselves in a different picture when we come up here on social media, because that's what social media does. It kind of morphs you into a different type of person. You need to be the same person you are outside of social media that you are in social media. That's why I always say I have faults. I don't even feel worthy a lot to be doing this. Our righteousness is like filthy rags. We cannot save ourselves. Salvation only comes through the Son. It only comes through Yahushua. It only comes through the Messiah. That's the reason for a sacrifice. To get rid of the penalty of sin, which is death. He didn't take away the law, the Torah. He didn't have it where we can just sin and ask for forgiveness. No, like he told the lady caught in adultery or whatnot, go and sin no more. But like I said before, we are failing in this walk. We are failing in this truth. We are pushing people away. We're no better than Christianity with all our different denominations and all our different thoughts. We can't come together and pray together and speak together in a way that we can learn this thing and get everything right, so we get on one mind and on one accord. Why do you think Christianity's don't work like that? Because there's so many different denominations, so many different doctrines that people just decide to leave. You got people that think the Sabbath is on this day or that day. A month start here, Passover is a certain day. It's just a whole bunch of mess going on. and everybody think they're right. We have no prophets. We don't have Moses to show us the way. We have the word, yes, we have the word. But we must humble ourselves in the sight of the Most High and get off our high horse and stop being so high-minded and so self-righteous. Thinking we're so wise. Our wisdom is nothing compared to the wisdom of the Most High, the one who created the heavens and the earth. That constructed all this stuff. The one that made the concept of seed. You plant a little seed in the ground, you water it and grow, and you get fruit or vegetables, and then you get other, like thousands of seeds from that one seed. We think we're so smart. We think that we're so knowledgeable. But we lack the spirit of the Most High. We lack the spirit of truth. We lack the Messiah. Satan knows the Bible, and he uses it against us. So don't think he's not in this movement, because there's too many different doctrines out here. I was told, because I don't believe that David is the Messiah, I was rejecting the Most High. And it was in the argumentative tone. Who wants to be a part of something where people don't even get along? We're too busy out here trying to debunk people. As soon as we hear something we don't like, we get on there and start trying to tear this person down. But we don't talk to people any other way unless they saying something we disagree with. It's people on here that I haven't talked to for years, and when I mention something about is Paul a false apostle, then people want to come talk to me and try to reason with me when I never said he was a false apostle. And right now I still don't believe that he's a false apostle. I think he is a real apostle. Because me and my wife been reading a lot of his letters and his books, and that's what it is. But if you haven't talked to me before, you had talked to me for years, even though I've been putting videos out, and when I say something you disagree with, that's when you want to talk. You just don't even talk to me or nothing like that. Just honestly, I was just putting something out there from what I was receiving, from what I heard, and I went and I looked at it, and I don't agree. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that's there's nothing that Paul said that was bad. There's nothing that he said against the Most High to me. He never said the law was done away with. And the law that he was talking about, he's talking about the laws of the Scribes and the Pharisees, the dogma. Not the Torah. We still have to follow the Torah. But we still have to live a righteous life and be kind people. And don't let our light be shut off. Because when our light is shut off, we will not be able to lead people or get people to understand where we're coming from. Now, everybody will not agree with you, but don't argue. You know what I'm saying? Don't just dismiss. Don't like just cut people off like that. Especially if you supposed to be Hebrew brothers. That's a no-no. Don't cut people off like that. But again, like I said in the beginning, I know this went on longer than I thought it was gonna go. We are failing as a nation, as we always have been. Even though we found out that we are Hebrew Israelites, we still carry that same mentality that we did before we even found out we was in the truth. We still have that Willie Lynch syndrome going on in the Hebrew Israelite movement. Just like Satan is in this Christian church, Satan is in this Hebrew Israelite movement. Because there's a lot of wickedness going on. I am a Hebrew Israelite. by nationality and by blood. You know, but I'm not a part of any camp or any assembly. I'm about the word of the Most High and what it says, and not what any other man says. Alright. I believe in salvation through the Messiah. I believe that Gentiles can be grafted in. You know, I don't hate anyone. I don't hate white people. I don't hate Africans. I don't hate Chinese people. I don't hate nobody. Because it's not in me to hate. You know, and we shouldn't hate anybody. You know, and that's what I believe, because that's what the Bible says. The Bible says Gentiles are grafted in. You know, in the Old Testament, when strangers or foreigners want to follow the Most High, they let them. You know, they let them. With all this so-called hate for Edomites or Esau, the so-called white man, which I don't believe Esau is a white man. But anyway, all this hate. It even says in the Bible, don't hate Esau. Don't hate Edom, because that is your brother. You know, it's things that we do that contradicts what the Bible says. It's things that we say that contradicts what the Bible says, what the Word says. It's time for us to be who we are and be true to ourselves and stop trying to be fake. Because right now, a lot of us are fake or faking. You know. Because me, I still have issues to work out with my anger. You know. I still got thorns in my side that I'm trying to deal with, that I have to ask for forgiveness for every day. I'm not a perfect man at all, not even close. But I do know is what the Bible says, and I do believe what it says. I do believe what it says. And I just think that we're missing the mark here. We're missing the mark. We're not possessing the fruits of the Spirit. You know? We're not. We're being wrathful, vengeful people. I was reading, me and my wife were reading the Bible today, is about how we speak. You know, a lot of us have filthy speaking, filthy talk. You know, and I fall victim to that sometimes too. You know, not like nasty talk, but like, you know, doing a lot of cussing and stuff like that. Being rude, you know, being smart aleck, provoking people. You know, that's the things that we do. We need to be provoking people to follow the Most High, to seek His face, to go get salvation through His Son Yahushua. We don't do that because we're too worried about fringes. We too worried about the girl that's down the street that's wearing pants that know nothing what you're talking about. You know? You're too worried about the white man. And we in their captivity. What are we going to do? We're going to do nothing. All we can do is wait on the Most High to come gather us from the four corners. It's nothing we can do. It's nothing we could have done about us coming in slavery. It's nothing we can do about getting out of it. The Most High put us in. The Most High is going to take us out. So you can cuss out the white man all you want to, call him the devil. You can say all you want to, but it's not going to do anything. All you're doing is causing up strife and hatred and bring the bad name among us in the truth. I don't want to be grouped with y'all, me or my wife, and I know there's a lot of other people on here that don't want to be grouped with y'all, because that's why a lot of people pull back. They don't want to be grouped with these Hebrew Israelite camps. And if y'all don't realize that all these camps you see all basically stem from the one West camp. They all do. It's just like the Christian church. You know, one West, and they people start disagreeing, then they start breaking up, then they break up, then they got all these different branches that came from one. The camps is not one mind or one spirit. It's not one doctrine. Alright? And I said this before a long years ago that we need to come together and figure this thing out. But we refuse to do that because one person believes the name of the Most High is Yahuwah, another person thinks it's Yahweh or whatever, Yahweh, Ahia, and some people think the Messiah's name is Yahushua, Yeshua, Yahusha, Yahweh Shai, you know what I'm saying? And we won't come together, you know, because we think we know it. We got some people that don't believe in the Messiah and some people that do believe in the Messiah. We got some people that don't believe in the Old Testament, New Testament, and some people that do believe in it. And we all clash and argue with each other and condemn each other to hell and say we're not the Most High because we think we know it all. We are so on the wrong path. What's the reason why you left Christianity? Why you leave Christianity? Why you leave being a Muslim or whatever religion you was in before you came into the truth? Why did you leave just to do the same thing? It doesn't make any sense. It don't matter how you look. It don't matter how you sound. It matters how you walk. That's what matters. It matters if you have salvation, if you have the Ruach HaKodesh. That's what matters. That is what matters, people. You know? And that's one of the reasons why I did stop doing videos for a while. It's because I had some things to figure out. It was some things I wasn't liking, and I just had to get myself together. Plus, I needed to take a break. You know, I'm among one of the old school of this thing. Been out 2011, 2012. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like I done seen the change. You know, we stop being so angry. If you have the Most High with you, you won't be so angry. You have more joy in your life. You have more happiness in your life. You know, you would. You would. You know, you would. Yes, everything's a lie that we grew up in. Yes, education is a lie. They teaching us bad education. Yes, they stole our identity. You know, yes, they went into the scriptures and twisted some words around. You know, yes, a lot of black people became Muslim because it was either life or death for them. That's why a lot of black folks, Hebrews, are Muslim. You know, this 12 tribe chart thing, everybody's so divided up about it. To me, it's not true. For example, Judah and Issachar came from Jacob and Leah, so they full-blooded brothers, Judah and Issachar. So how can Judah be black, whatever, and Issachar, I think, either Puerto Ricans or Mexicans? But you know, how can that be? You know, but I'm not finna argue. I'm not gonna argue nobody about it. You know, if that's what you believe, that's what you believe. But what I see and understand is that Jacob married Leah and Rachel, right? And I believe that the handmaids, Bilhah and Zilpah, was of the same race. That was half sisters. Leah's and Rachel's half sisters. So what I'm trying to understand is that how do all these different nations come from these people who are of the same nationality, basically? You know, Leah had 5, 6 kids, and all of them are different, right? It doesn't make any sense, you know, and that's another distraction. That's another distraction, and that keeps us divided. You know, that's the reason why my friend ain't my friend no more, because we don't agree on the 12 tribe chart. You know, and it been since August, beginning of August and of last year, and now it's April. You know, and I try to communicate with him, reconcile with him, but he don't want to talk to me. I done called him, I done text him, I done communicated him through Facebook, and he don't want to talk to me now. And that's what's wrong with people. We have no forgiveness in our heart. You know, you can't reconcile to somebody that don't want no reconciliation. And that's what's wrong with us so-called Hebrew Israelites today. We got to be bigger than that. We got to be bigger than what we think we are. We need to get over our pride. Because pride comes before the fall. You know? It's a lot of things that we got to remember in this walk. And that one thing is that pride thing. You know? For real. But before I end this video, I just want to tell everybody to keep on pushing, keep on walking in the ways of the Most High. Stay in your word and study. Stay prayerful. I know sometimes it get hard because I have times where I don't feel like praying, I don't feel like reading. I get times where I get upset with the things of life. But you have to always reel yourself back in, ask Yah to forgive you, and you know, just remember the goodness of Him. You know, you got up this morning. You know, there's people that's in worse situations. You know, it is. So we need to thank the Most High. Just thank the Most High that you can breathe, that you still got the functioning of your limbs and organs. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't have legs or arms, or they can't hear, or they can't see, or they can't talk. You know, a lot of people can't do that. But a lot of us got all our limbs and organs, and we can still talk and see and hear and taste. And we take those things for granted. We take those things for granted. People keep pushing. There will be better days. You know, and just keep pushing and keep walking in the ways of the Most High. Don't get discouraged, even when it times look rough. You know, we all go through it. So I want to just say that I love you all, whether I know you or not. And if my friend hear this, I love you too. You know, whether you want to talk to me never again, I still love you. We're brothers. But, you know, I had to move on. You know, life goes on. So just keep loving people. Keep being kind. Be forgiving. You know, forgive you, especially for little stuff, you know what I'm saying? But just stand strong, stay strong. I know we get weak, but just stand strong, pick yourself up and dust yourself off and stay strong, people. And I love you. And I pray that Yahuwah Barak you and yours continually, always, and forever. This is BG from the Repairers of the Breach. Stay strong. And Shabbat Shalom. Birekoth Shalum.